Hey, this is Lahsiv, and today we're going to be playing Maniac Mansion Deluxe. Now, the inspiration for this Let's Play came from me watching a lot of videos from the YouTube channel Censored Gaming, and I know the NES port of Maniac Mansion had a lot of censoring done to it, so I want to know which one is actually better, the Deluxe version or the NES port. A quick note is I'm playing on Windows 8 and the volume keeps fluctuating, but I hope that doesn't affect the video. Now let's get started. I'm going to choose Syd and Razor this time because they're like identical, although I do plan on showing off how you can beat the game with anybody. Now I have to say, this opening does look better than the NES version, but I think I prefer watching the NES version due to NES nostalgia. Also, I think the NES version has better sounding music at this part. Now, one thing I really like about this version is, well, in the NES version they brought in a new feature where you can press the select button and it will cycle through commonly used verbs. But in this version, it's using the interface from Day of the Tentacle, the sequel of Maniac Mansion, and all the commands are assigned to a separate key on the keyboard, and even cycling through different kids is as easy as pressing F1, F2 or F3. And if that wasn't like easy to use as it is, I mean really nice to use, making it really quick pace and everything, they also allow you to use the right click on the mouse for the like thing that's most useful for the thing you're looking at. So you can see the sign right now on screen. If I were to highlight that, well, when the gameplay starts, like the look at command will be highlighted. I can just press the right click and it will be done. Now, as you can see in this opening cutscene, the text is actually appearing above their heads. So in all previous versions, the text would appear in that black space you see above the screen. Now that's kind of useless, that black screen. This game has great humor in it, but the NES version did lose some of its humor. They made the character Edna become really bland by cutting out, changing a lot of her dialogue. So instead of being all kind of like perverted as it is in this game, and even just graffiti on the walls on like the dead cousin Ted's bathroom, it said "Call for a good time, Edna." Now it's just "Call Edna." Alright, let's enter. It's the correct time. The plants look it's spooky looking. I guess it's preparing you for the rest of the game. It seems loose. Well, you might already know this, but you can press the push and then that door opens, but you need another kid to go in there, because otherwise it closes when you get near to it. Now, I just want to check something. Weird. In the NES version, it said this was blood. Want some food? Come here, dearie. Oh wait, I forgot I wanted to get captured. Oh, how silly of me. I should have tied you to my bed. Yeah, I wanted to see her say that in this version so much. Hey, look, they also have the skeleton. Yeah, they took that out in the NES version as well. I wonder if I know him. Secret lab. This brick appears to be a bit loose. Let's change kids. Yeah, so, well, I was... a cutscene.
Well, my dear, hope you're having fun. Within minutes, it'll all be over. You'll be hooked up to my machine, getting your pretty brain sucked out.
You'll never get away with this. You know what? In the NES version, it says removed rather than sucked. For some reason, you couldn't say sucked in the NES for some reason. Had a lot of changes removing sucked in this game because of that. Actually, in the Japanese Famicom version, they changed her attire to a dress rather than the more provocative tube top and miniskirt. But I'm fairly certain this is not due to censorship, and it was just a style choice. Anyway, as you can see, that look at sign gets highlighted when you are on it, and I can just right click. Trespassers will be horribly mutilated. Oh, and this sign is the address. They wanted to have a competition with Pepsi where you could send in the address to Pepsi, but nothing like that ever happened. So I'm just gonna keep Syd over here because of the package. So when it comes, he'll be straight there. I could just switch to him quickly. And oh yeah, this clock. And there's supposed to be a version where it shows the correct time, but I have not played every version, so... Well, this version, that's definitely not true because that's not the correct time. It needs batteries. I'll pick it up. I don't think it's been used for a while. Open and close microwave. Okay. She just laughs at it. What? Let's check what's in the fridge. Cheese. Pepsi. Again, they had a deal with Pepsi. Well, the only thing I'll need in this fridge, I guess, is the Pepsi. The music in this one... The music in this one is taken from Day of the Tentacle. I much prefer the NES version music. Man, this room looks nice in this version. Look at that. Also, the walking animation seems to be better in this version as well. The door is locked. The jar is going to be useful. A jar is always useful. That's what I just said. I think she's listening in on me. Anyway, that's all we're going to need from this room. Gee, I'm hungry. Ed's gonna go get his cheese for him and his hamster. Bitchin! Why is she called him Stain Bitchin? I don't do tablecloths. You probably couldn't see it, but I chose pick up Stain, and she said, I don't know what she means by that. Anyway, let's wait in this room for Ed, see what happens. Oh yeah, this chainsaw. This is an inside joke from the developers. It's completely useless in this game, but there's another game which they have, Zack McCracken and the Mindbenders, where you get a can of gas to use for the chainsaw, but this chainsaw has no gas in it, which is why it's useless. And that game has no chainsaw in it, so the can of gas is useless as well. It's just an inside joke for anyone who plays both of them, and moreish so for the developers. Yeah, let's just wait in here to see what happens with— Ah! That's strange, there wasn't even a music change. Oh, wait. I think that's just in the NES version. I'm too used to the NES version, that's the one I played the most. So, yeah, I haven't actually played this one in ages. I played it like once a long time ago, but I played the NES version. So, oh, that's really cool. You can actually see inside the kitchen through the door. This is a cool tune. In this game, you get different music for different rooms rather than for different people like in the NES version. Cassette player, we'll need that later. That's a cool painting. That's Castle Brunwell. I didn't get to read it. Hey, check it out. In this version you can actually see in the dark a little bit, but I'm guessing you can't actually interact with anything, can you? So, wait, let me test that actually. Let me turn off the light. Let me try. Oh, well, you know, you can actually a bit. This looks to be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Again, another inside joke for the developers, because Chuck the Plant starts to appear in their later games all the time afterwards. It's too dark to read. Yeah, I thought so. If I turn off the light, you'll get that issue. It appears to be loose. Doesn't everything in this game? Cassette tape, that'll be useful. Bitchin'. Every single thing is bitchin' in this game, isn't it? Man, I really miss Razor's music in the NES version. That was so cool. Oh yeah, with this door here, it's not really useful as a security door in this one. As you can see, it's just open and everything. But in the other ones, it was used for copyright protection. And yeah, so you'd look in the manual or something and you could enter a code in the door. Yeah, so actually, where you can see this pad over here, if you were Bernard and you read this text here, let me try close it. I don't wanna. Alright, well, in the other versions it is closed and there is text up there, and if you get Bernard to read this text, he will start saying, I read about this in Geek Weekly, and he tries to hack into it and he just ends up blowing up the whole mansion. Bitchin'? Really? I'd much prefer it if she insulted them. Well, I guess that's just the kind of default thing's blood. I don't remember that in the NES version. I guess they must have taken it out. Well, like I said, the NES version did have a lot of censorship in it. And Free Guys. Well, we'll watch TV later and you'll get to see them. So she's a musician, and all musicians can play the piano, right? Good, like I thought. That's a pretty cool tune. You know what? I thought I'd prefer the NES version just because I'm used to it, but that was actually a really good tune. Oh yeah, another thing about this door is there was in the NES version it got glitched up, and the security entry key thing was on this side over here, and I used to actually think it was glitched up and it was actually meant to be on the statue because I knew the statue disappeared, but the what just happened is because it was meant to blow up if you did the wrong thing in the other versions. If you just used the invisible security panel that was over there in the NES version, it would just blow up the mansion. Maybe there's a plaque somewhere. Here it is. Si tu veux enlève le lever. Poster P. I have no idea if that pronounced that properly. It's probably pronounced wrong. Oh wow, it's almost 15 minutes. That's my YouTube limit, so I'll save it here and I'll see you next time.